My good people, I came to bring you a quick message real quick, and that message is that age is not an excuse for failure. Age is not an excuse to not succeed in anything that you want to succeed in. Age isn't an excuse. Not in fitness, not in business, not in any goal that you have. And I'll tell you why. I had a conversation with one of my boxing students last night, and he was telling me that he and another one of my boxing students were talking about how fast time was flying and that they would be 30 soon and that they hadn't achieved anything. And what I was telling him and what I went into was telling him that we all, human nature, we all have a false sense of when we should achieve something. We put a false sense of time on things that we want to achieve when in actuality we haven't even experienced life enough to get the lessons that we need in order to get there. So we turn on things like social media where people constantly lie to you and constantly put up fronts and fakes as far as what their current successes are, or they've put up these AI photos and AI videos. But anyway, it's a cesspool of fallacy. And then what happens is the average young, impressionable mind looks at that and says, hey, by this age, I should have this, I should own this, I should be retired, I should be this, that, and the third. And it's not fact, it's all fallacy. You've got to give yourself time to actually experience life before you even know what it is that you're supposed to do or that you're called to do. You've got to get out here and travel. You know, people pick their college careers or they're forced to pick their college careers at a young age. Nobody at 18 years old, no base individual at 18 years old know what they want to do for the rest of their life. Not one. They pick one out of pressure and obligation. But how many of those individuals, after they get that degree in whatever they said they wanted to major in, that sounded cool to impress their parents or impress whomever else on the outside, how many of those individuals actually stick to that career for the remainder of their life? The majority of them? None. How many people do you know that has a college degree in whatever actually works in that field? That's why so many people later in life, after they experience life a bit, after they get in their late 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s, go back to college then, because now they have experienced life enough as to where, hey, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. I tried this, I tried that, I failed at that, I love this, I hate that, and now I know what path to take. You have to experience life first in order to know what path to take. Everything that I'm currently successful at, I started at late by societal standards. So I didn't start boxing until I turned 23, 24 years old. I didn't start taking Capoeira until I was 37 years old. I didn't open this gym that I'm currently sitting in, that I currently own, until I was 41 years old. I saw a post a while back, and this is one that I agree with. They said that the 20s, in your age, the 20s are experimental, the 30s are foundation building, and the 40s are more fixed as far as you knowing where you're going to progress at. And the problem is that too many people give up too early. They're stopping way too early. Like, you're stopping way too early. If you're stopping in your 20s, you haven't even started living life yet. You're probably just now getting your passport, probably just now taking, starter trips or whatever. You haven't even seen the world that has all of these unlimited options to you. You don't even know what's available to you because you haven't even lived yet. The 30s are more formulaic. You kind of start getting a better vision on what it is you want to do and how you need to do it. And this is all just, business conversation and kind of fitness too. In the fitness industry, a lot of you all are following individuals who don't know anything, who have not experienced life at all. You can't compare someone who is 20 in their early 20s, solely relying on their youthful genetics to tell you how to eat, to tell you how to do something when they haven't even had any experience yet. These younger trainers, and that's no knock to them, continue doing what you're doing. If you're successful at it, fine. However, don't come at me with it because you haven't even been through the late 20s yet. You haven't been through, raising kids. You haven't been through the 30s. You haven't been through certain depression and stresses and things of that nature. You haven't even lived life yet. So you still got your Similac. You still on your baby steps as far as the fitness career goes. So somebody who hasn't had a certain level of experience has no idea, in my opinion, how to tell somebody who's been through a certain level of experience or at a certain age range in life how to do something fitness wise. And when you're older, quote unquote older, it doesn't necessarily mean that when you hear the word older, and when some people hear the word older, their bones start to ache. Their tendons start to, they start to think of every reason that they have not to start and not to go after their goal in the fitness industry. Listen, when you get older, you have more wisdom when it comes to how to train for longevity. These youngins go balls to the wall as far as telling you got to walk out the door with your legs dead, and you got to have baby deer legs when you leave, and you got to be sore, and you can't feel that. All of that naive stuff, I've already been there. I can tell you from experience that is nonsense. So age isn't an excuse. Injuries, to a certain degree, aren't an excuse. Right now, I'm injured and you wouldn't even know it. Go look at my past videos. I have a torn flexor tendon in my finger right here. I've had this torn flexor tendon since February. Hopefully I don't have to have a dramatic surgery. I also have an ankle that's been bothering me, a torn hamstring, or whatever the case is. However, these have not been excuses for me producing the work, for me producing workouts and results. I've still been shooting instructional videos. I've still been in the gym every day working out. I've still been teaching boxing. I've still been teaching capoeira. So excuses are not viable. Age isn't an excuse at all. And to a certain degree, injuries aren't an excuse. We've seen individuals, I know you've seen it or have not. If you have not seen it, go look it up. We've seen individuals who were amputated from the waist, still working out and making things happen. People with one leg, one arm, making it happen. So what's your excuse besides your own laziness and your own self-doubt? But I'll go back to age. Age is not an excuse. I have a 64-year-old retired veteran client who comes in here with the most energy I've ever seen out of someone her age range. And she even has more energy than a lot of the 50, 40, and 30-year-olds. She comes in ready to rock. Vitality is a choice. Age is the worst excuse you can give yourself. So don't do it. Don't do it. You just train wiser when you're older. You've made all the young dummy mistakes. You actually have the advantage over the young dummies who are trying to tell you how to do something. Because the young dummies haven't even young dummied yet all the way. They haven't even fully young dummied. You've got the advantage. I've already young dummied. I've got injuries and all that stuff to prove it. But you had the advantage. Okay, I can't move that way. I shouldn't move that way. And I won't move that way. So this is what I'm going to do as far as this goes. Or this is the accommodation that I need. Or I need to find an older, experienced trainer, as like myself, who knows how to work around the ailments. So I don't want to hear any excuses as far as age. I don't want to hear any excuses as far as some of these injuries go. Train through the injury, train around the injury, or go see a specialist to actually heal your injury. But make a way around it. Take care of your health. Get off your butt. We're not dad boding no more. We're done with that. And make the best of your life. Improve your higher quality of life, man. All right. Hope you like this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe.